Hi guys, Michael Moore here for the next edition of Third Thursday live from Kneedler, Fauchère at the San Francisco Design Center. I have a special guest today, Chris Eitel, Director of Design at Vladimir Kagan. He is here launching the Forward collection, and he's here to tell us a little bit about what the inspiration for that collection was and show us some of the highlights of it. So Chris, nice to meet you. Thank you for joining us.
Good to meet you too, Michael.
Coffee table.
Let's start with the coffee table. The Bind and Stock coffee table is really designed with the Omnibus collection in mind. Love the way that early on in his career, Vladdy used the lucite material to float his furniture in a space, and the Omnibus, that whole collection really didn't have a coffee table that went with it, and so we were kind of able to fill that gap a little bit, use the lucite and float this beautiful lacquered storage box on the inside of the table, and that's kind of where the collection begins.
And you said this was actually an early piece for you, and you drew inspiration from one of his earlier works too.
It was, yeah, it was an early piece of mine, and I was really inspired by that Omnibus collection and what he did with lucite in general.
Well, the collection was kind of a game changer for furniture in general, and so it's a natural place to draw inspiration from. And then these also, you said, were something you worked on early on and at length to come to this beautiful form. Right?
Yeah. So this was an early design of mine as well. Really playing with dynamic line work, something that Vladdy and I talked a lot about. Also, then using that line and these frames to really practice and study how Kagan is carved, and then the seats actually follow a little bit in his philosophies of ergonomics.
Yeah, didn't you tell me they're inspired almost by like a saddle from an equestrian?
They are, yeah, by English and Western riding saddles, and so his philosophy was that it didn't have to be an overly stuffed seat. If it followed the contour of the body, it could be comfortable, and so that's what we're trying to achieve.
Yeah, well, I mean, people sit in the saddle for long rides, and they're built to actually hold the body in a comfortable way.
That's right.
And then we have this beautiful bench over here, which sort of initially came out with not a lot of fanfare, but
we didn't talk about it a whole lot early on. When Holly Hunt first purchased Vladimir Kagan, Holly came to me with two directives: one, to design new furniture, and two, to design a bench. And so we launched this bench in 2016, kind of under the radar a little bit, just to see how it performed, and people loved it, and it really took off for us. So we bring it back into the Forward collection, doing it in wood, since Kagan's really kind of known for that sculptural wood element, and it kind of gives it a proper home, we feel like, in this collection.
So it becomes one of the pieces that are drawing on that inspiration of his traditional materials and forms.
Exactly.
And then you drew on one of his other forms to create this sofa here.
Yes, the big picture sofa. It's really kind of like, what do we think Kagan sofas can look like, and what is that kind of big picture thinking today? And so this sofa is a symmetrical sofa that has a seat extension on either end, which is something that we didn't have in our line. And so it's really drawing from a lot of inspiration of these classic Kagan sofas that people really know so well.
Yeah, and I noticed it utilizes the cantilevering that he's so well known for as well.
It does. He loved to play with those kind of different design elements, and so the seat really cantilevers out from the back. A lot of engineering in that.
Yeah, it's amazing because it looks like it's just sort of hovering above the ground from the perspective that I'm at here.
Yeah.
So, well, thank you so much for sharing all this with us, Chris. And you guys come by Kneedler Fauchère, check out the Forward collection by Vladimir Kagan, and we will see you next time.